Hello once again. This is chapter 11 and it's called The Cost of Living, or The Cost of Wisdom. And our ancients have touted a man of great wisdom that challenged those that believe the end of life is final. He is best known for his judicious arbitrations, as his wisdom didn't come from birth. It was of his highly unusual petition he asked of God on his behalf. He is none other than King Solomon. The beginning of his reign was unusual, and therefore a little background information is necessary as he speaks on his own behalf. Now it's in the book of three Kings. That's chapter 3, verse 7. And now, O Lord, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father. And I am but a child, and know not how to go out and come in. And thy servant is in the midst of the people which thou hast chosen, an immense people, which cannot be numbered, nor counted for multitude. Now in book 3, Kings, chapter 3, verse 9, give therefore to thy servant an understanding heart, to judge thy people, and discern between good and evil. For who shall be able to judge this people, thy people which is so numerous? It was an incredible petition that set him apart from other ruling bodies. And after reading the following passages, it was understandable why God became pleased with King Solomon. Can you imagine a ruler who wanted only for his people and not himself? Now in book 3, Kings, chapter 3, verse 10. And the word was pleasing to the Lord that Solomon had asked such a thing. And the Lord said to Solomon, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, or riches, nor the lives of thy enemies, but hast asked for thyself wisdom to discern judgment. Behold, I have done for thee according to thy words, and have given thee a wise and understanding heart, insomuch that there hath been no one like thee before thee, nor shall arise after thee. Now in the book of 3 Kings, chapter 3, verse 13, yea, and the things also which thou didst not ask, I have given thee, to wit, riches and glory, so that no one hath been like thee among the kings in all days hereto therefore. Not born with wisdom or riches, King Solomon received it all through a sincere supplication that set it all in motion as God's reward. In Solomon's book of wisdom, we have to believe anything he writes has to now be gifted from God, and beyond anything man could contrive. The following passages prove this point when a human speaks of how their life will end without having spiritual guidance. Now it's in Wisdom, chapter 2, verse 1. For they have said, reasoning with himself, but not right, the time of our life is short and tedious, and in the end of a man there is no remedy. And no man hath been known to have returned from hell. For we are born of nothing, and after this we shall be as if we had not been. For the breath in our nostrils is smoke, and speech a spark to move our heart. Which being put out, our bodies shall be ashes, and our spirit shall be poured abroad as soft air. And our life shall pass away as a trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist which is driven away by the beams of the sun, and overpowered by the heat thereof. Now in Wisdom, chapter 2, verse 4, and thy name in time shall be forgotten, and no man shall have any remembrance of our works, for our time is as the passing of a shadow, and there is no going back to our end, for it is fast sealed, and no man returneth. Come therefore and enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let not the flower of time pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with roses before they are withered. Let no meadow escape our riot. Let none of us go without his part in luxury. Let us everywhere leave tokens of joy, for this is our portion, and this is our lot. Let us oppress the poor just man, and not spare the widow, nor honor the ancient gray hairs of the aged. That covers something. Now, Wisdom chapter 2, verse 11. But let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Nothing within these passages can be misconstrued. It is a harsh, dark commentary and an indictment on much of the world's leadership of today. This is Solomon expressing the sentiments of his rich tapestry of friends and their wealth. But it didn't stop there, with our monetary system taking precedent over a more uniform system that once controlled greed and corruption. Who now controls laws of this country if not money? Now in Wisdom chapter 3 verse 1, but the souls of the just are in the hand of God, and the torment of death shall not touch them. Now let me repeat this again. Now this in the book of Wisdom, this is coming from Solomon now, not other people. Now in Wisdom chapter 3 verse 1, but the souls of the just are in the hand of God, and the torment of death shall not touch them. In the sight of the universe they seem to die, and their departure was taken for misery. But they're going away from us for utter destructions, but they are in peace. And though in the sight of men they suffer torments, their hope is full of immortality. Now in Wisdom 3, chapter 5, afflicted in few things, in many they shall be well rewarded, because God hath tried them and found them worthy of himself. Unfortunately, there is a caveat to the story of Solomon that made him eventually fall from the grace of God. It also answers an age-old question. God does not know the will of men, as Solomon chose gluttony over good of his kingdom toward his end of days. Chapter 3 in Book 3 in Kings, chapter 11, verse 1. And King Solomon loved many strange women besides the daughter of the Pharaoh, and the women of Moab, and of Ammon, and of Edom, and of Sidon, and of the Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said to the children of Israel, you shall not go in unto them, neither shall any of them come into yours, for they will most certainly turn away your heart to follow their gods. And to these was Solomon joined with the most ardent love. Now in 3 Kings, chapter 11, verse 3, and he had 700 wives as queens, and 300 concubines, and the women turned away his heart. Yes, I guess so.